Hello guys, welcome back to another TFC weather forecast video. Today is August 18th, just 2 days after it made its big run towards Category 5 status after a extreme rapid intensification phase. But now we are watching this as it wobbles west once again towards the Turks and Caicos in the southern Bahamas. How west will this go is the big question for me right now, and for all meteorologists. Again, this thing could just keep going more and more farther to the west. Where's the thing at? Something somewhere. There we go. This is more close-up view, but you could see Hurricane Erin right now. You could here, 1 second. Alright, so we're here looking at Erin. This is the latest satellite picture. Right now you can see this is the exact center. It is moved from over here to right here, so I think it's moving closer to the west. Somewhere around here was the previous center, but it's going this way. My question is, we have our first scenario, right? The most likely scenario is it goes a little more to the west and a wobble, keeps wobbling a little bit, and then goes north. That was a bad trolling, but yeah, wobbles a little bit and then goes north. Something like this, right? I keep drawing it bad. But something that takes it more to the north. This is Cuba, by the way, down here. That's Cuba. These are the Bahamas, and these are the Turks and Caicos. Just for reference, in case you didn't know. Right now, this is our second scenario, the blue scenario. It goes a little more, keeps wobbling a little bit to the south. It goes north a little bit farther to the west. Maybe a little more gradual turn north. Maybe it doesn't immediately start turning north and starts gradually turning north before it turns north. And then we have the most unlikely scenario as of now, the bad scenario. This scenario would have it going west. Here, let me draw it. West, a little bit of wobble north, and a straight path west before I turn north. Here, I'm about to get out another image so it's easier to see. Alright, so this is a larger satellite image. Let's go ahead and draw our scenarios again. These are the Bahamas right here. And these are the Turks and Caicos. That's Cuba. Again, in case you didn't know your countries, I know people who don't, so it's fine, perfectly fine. We have this center. We have the blue or red scenario. I was talking about a little more of a wobble west, and then that eventual turn north. That's relatively sharp. I don't think this is gonna turn north like right here. Here, our red scenario is gonna be this. Turns north immediately, today, right now, turns north. Blue scenario is my kind of personally most likely scenario. It goes north of the Turks and Caicos, and then it shifts north before hitting the Bahamas. I'll put North Carolina and the Outer Banks possibly in play with the blue scenario. Purple scenario goes west, wobbles a little bit north, and then hugs the coastline. That's the purple, and then we'll have a lighter purple, which is like the secondary scenario for this exact same outcome. Both these purple scenarios are both United States impacts. So that's really where we're gonna have to watch. This lighter purple one will hit more of the Outer Banks. And then we have the most unlikely scenario, the pink scenario, which has it riding that stationary frontal boundary I was talking about. Right to the north here. Again, our stationary boundary does exist throughout here to the north, and we could see Erin try riding this stationary boundary that is developing to the north right here. I'm trying to make a somewhat good drawing of it. But yeah, we could have Erin ride the stationary boundary to the north right here. Again, ignore the blues and reds. That's how they actually look on a map, which I'm about to show. we could have it attaching to this lower edge of the stationary boundary and taking a straight southern path. Here, let me stop it here. This scenario is extremely, extremely unlikely, as well as this purple scenarios. This whole group of possible model out or possible hurricane outcomes to the west have zero relation with the models, which is good. We don't want a United States impact. However, right now they are on the table. Unfortunately, in my opinion, we have on the far right corner of the table, right near the edge, but it's still on the table. Of course, the center of the table is really these two outcomes right here, the blues and the reds. The purples, again, still on the table, I think. We'll draw, heck, a pink. This is just another outline real quick to make it better. Maybe it goes that way and just hits Outer Banks. It really depends. We have a lot of scenarios that are possible for the storm right now. Again, this is our center. My current cone of uncertainty, okay, has it dipping south and then going like this. This is how large our cone of uncertainty has become. I don't think it's going to turn north immediately. On satellite, if we had no idea of the models or how it was going to turn in the future, right now it looks like it's going towards Florida. That's why I'm starting to become a little bit more concerned for the Turks and Caicos and Bahamas. Turks and Caicos are going to get hurricane impacts no matter what, in my opinion, based on how large this is. So as long as this keeps trying to shift more, oh, that's a terrible color, I'm sorry. As long as this tries to shift more to the south right here, the Turks and Caicos are going to get those extremely strong outer band winds from this. In the Bahamas, too. The southern Bahamas down here are going to get the brunt of the impact, too, in my opinion. This is literally going this way right now. That's for perspective. It's going this way. Sorry for the arrow. Here, let me redraw it. Oh wow, I can't draw, I'm sorry. This is our arrow right now of where it's going. Will it shift north? And when will it shift north? Are my two questions. However, the first one has already kind of been answered by the models that it will shift north. But I'm starting to become a little skeptical of it turning out here and be going so far drastically at the sea. Right now, Florida needs to be on the lookout right now, because the time between now and the later this evening are going to determine the rest of this hurricane's life, and when it will move and what this hurricane will be really remembered as. It's already going to be remembered as an extremely powerful hurricane this season, Category 5. You don't see those very often at all. Of course, you usually get one per season, but still insane how it went from a tropical storm to a Category 5 in under 24 hours. That's basically unheard of. But nowadays, that's starting to become more of a reality here. But yeah, maybe my cone of uncertainty could be expanded a little west, or I mean a little east, like that. It really depends. We have this whole gray area right here of if it will move to the north, if it will move to the west, if it will move to the northwest, northeast, whatever. This is becoming a really hard and complicated hurricane to track, and models may be a little inaccurate with how far west it goes. I think it's gonna this is the track right now. I think it's gonna take a more eastern track and go that way. That's what I think it's gonna do. I think it's maybe could even stay a little west and not gain as much latitude so early on. But I think eventually it will have that sharp turn north, or again, the most unlikely turn north. It goes into the Bahamas and then takes a turn north. That's also in play. But I don't have it going straight west like that. I have the west going like that. So if it magically hits Florida, which it won't. In my opinion right now, Florida is almost fully off the table. By that I mean like there's like a 0.5 chance it hits Florida. Um, but Florida impact from a landfall directly is pretty much off the table. The closest I have it going to Florida is maybe a turn like that, or a turn like that, or a turn like that. It really depends on when it turns. But for those who are wondering, I personally right now do not think it's going to do something like that. Like Hurricane Dorian, like Hurricane Matthew. Except Matthew was down here and it came north or something like that. My memory is kind of bad. It is the early morning, if you can tell the time in the bottom right of the screen. Yeah, but let's get a load of this hurricane. A pretty large eye for its size. People are saying it's really huge, but it right now at the moment does not seem like that large of a hurricane. It will expand. It's huge. It's a big hurricane, but at the same time, compared to the biggest hurricanes ever, it's not that big. But again, this is our cone of uncertainty now. Shifted west because the hurricane's going west, not because I think I just out of my head or for no reason that it's gonna keep going west for a bit. So yeah, the NHC cone NHC's become really unlucky. When the hurricane was right here, their cone had it going up here. When the hurricane was right here, their cone had it going up here. When the when the hurricane was right here, it had it going up here. The hurricane's right here, it had it going up here. This is the Here, let me erase some stuff. Between here and here are the only times the NHC have really gotten it right in this path, besides for back here and that stuff. But yeah, NHC's been being really unlucky with how they're forecasting this. Everyone really hasn't forecasted this correctly at all yet. But it's supposed to shift north. Let's see the degree of how it turns north though. I think it's gonna take a more western path than we think at the moment. But yep, we're gonna go back to our weather charts. All right, we are back with our fronts. This is the hurricane's current position for reference. But yeah, one big thing I want to note, there's a lot of dry air. You could see that dry line, that orange dash line now. It used to be stationary front, but now it's been designated as a dry line. This is causing some pretty intense thunderstorms in northern Florida, maybe down to southern Florida too. This hurricane, again, is really going to be dependent on some stuff like this. This stationary front, a frontal boundary could again latch it and take it further to the west. This is the best map to show you my cone of uncertainty right now. Again, really bad kind of uncertainty. That was kind of bad. I'm just gonna delete that. But yeah, again, we have a lot of dry air into here. This is gonna hinder. I think it's gonna hinder it for a little bit. However, right now it has a really strong convection. I think this hurricane can power through it. I don't know though. There's dry air over here too along that dry line. Lots of dry air. We also have that northeasterly shear coming from this way. We have that jet pushing it to the west. That is weakened. We have some Bermuda high that is starting to kind of steer this way a little bit back here, and we have this counterclockwise directioning from this storm. We have counterclockwise movement from this. Oh my god, it looks like a mess. We have this. Alright, so let me redraw that. We have shear from over here, that northwesterly shear. This is the center of the hurricane right now, I think. Not perfect, of course. But again, we have that jet pushing from the east, the easterly jet, and we have those low pressure systems steering that way counterclockwise. That could even have like a kind of pattern shifting back here, or sorry, I can't form words right now. A winds moving that way, and we have this front which again, I'm not too sure of. You can see these wind parcels going that way and that way and that way and that way. Because these are the key wind parcels. These are the key wind parcels we're going to look at right now. If you were to just follow, if the hurricane just followed wind parcels, nothing else included, it would be going straight north in that way. However, the wind parcels aren't what really steers a hurricane as a whole. You have more things involved, like steering from maybe this low pressure system, the Bermuda High out here, the high pressure system that steers hurricanes, sometimes the United States, sometimes out to sea. And right now we have this big weakening and high pressure right here that's going to keep it at bay from hitting the United States down here. However, that weakness could have it hit the United States right here. And that's really the thing we're really looking at right now. Here, let's go back to satellite real quick. So again, water vapor imagery, you could see it kind of shifting, wobbling west. That eye is really becoming clear. You could probably see that on the satellite, but we're recording a video right when it's about to rapidly intensify again. Maybe not rapidly intensify on the technical level because I don't think it has Cat 5 really in play unless it stays maybe further south. You can see that all this cloud cover and stuff up here near the top of the satellite screen where it says dry all levels, moist low levels, and moist upper levels. Right now we have dry in all levels all around this hurricane to the north and around Florida. Let's go ahead and take a screenshot here. 1 second. But yeah, what I was talking about, we have dry all levels, this black thing at the top that indicates all of this black right here around the hurricane is dry air. You can actually see some of that dry air right here starting to seep into the hurricane. However, it has convected around it. The dry air has killed all of this convection though, and this dry air is really gonna have a play, like I was saying, into this hurricane. Right now we have moist low levels all up here. We have moisture all around it. It's pulling a lot of that moisture from the south. That's where it's going to be getting most of its moisture out. But yeah, I just want to pull this out real quick. There is dry air. It could eventually make its way into the hurricane and kill it down to category 2 strength. You could see drier air right into here too. So yeah, that was just a quick little tidbit. Let's get back. Actually, we're going to look at water temperature next. And we were looking at this yesterday. I'm not sure why. This isn't really going to help us with Hurricane Erin, but we are dipping down more into a La Nina. It is technically a La Nina right now, based on this index. Right, so anyways, you can see La Nina index dipping down towards those negative 0.6 and 0.8 values. So, yeah, pretty much a La Nina right here based off of this. And now we're looking at the water temperatures, again, low quality like yesterday. I don't know how to get an image higher quality. But yeah, you could see those water temperatures. Right now, you can see some of those 29s, right in the Caribbean and North Atlantic. We have some 30s, into the Atlantic Basin near Florida, just to the east, and to the northeast of the Bahamas, I'm sorry. And the Gulf of Mexico is very warm. If we get a system in the Gulf of Mexico, it's going to rapidly intensify without a doubt, excluding other factors like wind shear and dust that may be present in the Gulf. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's forecast video. We'll see you on the next one. This might take a little bit to upload. 19 minutes long. Next one probably shorter or longer depending on how much changes. And stay weather aware. I'm not I'm not talking well right now.